Hello viewer, welcome to Pharma Digital, and here in this video I am gonna discuss about the 30 important questions that arises from the topic cell. So let's start the topic. Cell was discovered by option A Robert Hooke, option B Robert Crooke, option C David Thompson, and option D Mary Francois. So here the right answer is option A Robert Hooke. This term cell was coined by or invented by Robert Hooke in 1665. And second question, name the outermost boundary of the cell. For option A cell membrane, option B nuclear membrane, option C cytoplasm, and option D none of the above. And here the right answer is option A cell membrane, and it is otherwise also known as plasma membrane. And in option B nuclear membrane. So what is nuclear membrane? Suppose this is the cell membrane, that is the outermost layer, and suppose this is the nuclear membrane through which the nucleus is enclosed, and here the cytoplasm. It is a jelly like substance or fluid like substance which contain water, salts, and different organic molecules. It also contains some different cell organelles are also floated in this cytoplasm, like ribosome, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum. And nuclear membrane means this part, means through the part or the envelope through which the cell, the nucleus of the cell is enclosed, and that is known as nuclear membrane. Okay, third question is the cell is not applied for, means which organism is not made up from the cell. First option is algae, option B bacteria, option C virus, and option D is fungi. And so here the right answer is option C virus, means those organisms which are not made up from the any cell, that is known as acellular, like virus. And those organisms which are made up from the single cell, that is known as unicellular, like algae, bacteria, fungi. These are the unicellular organism. And like a plant and human being, animal, these are made up from the multicell. That's why it is known as multicellular organism. Okay, next question is microfilament are composed of a protein. Option A tubulin, option B actin, option C myosin, and option D is chitin. So here the right answer is option B actin. And these microfilament are otherwise also known as actin filament because it contains protein actin. And these microfilament help in movement of cell, and it work or it combine with the protein myosin and help in muscle movement. And in option C there is a option A tubulin. It is also a protein that helps to form the microtubule, and these microtubule helps in cell division. And here option D, it is contain a option D, it contain chitin. Chitin means it is a materials or gelatinous material that are found in insect and fungus. Next comes to question number 5. Lysosomes are also known as suicidal bag because option A parasitic activity, option B presence of food vacuoles, option C hydrolytic activity, and option D catalytic activity. So here the right answer is hydrolytic activity, option C. So here lysosome contain an enzyme that is known as hydrolytic enzyme. When cell damage, this hydrolytic enzyme release and makes the cell to die itself. That's why it is called a suicidal bag. And it is also helps for the digestion process of our body, because this break down the complex molecule into the simplex molecule, and that helps in digestion. Okay, so next question is, the oxygen and carbon dioxide cross the plasma membrane by the process of option A, active diffusion, option B, facilitated diffusion, option C, passive diffusion, and option D, random diffusion. So here the right answer is option C, passive diffusion. So here, what is passive diffusion? Passive diffusion means movement of substance or movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration. Means it happens without the involvement of any energy, and that is known as passive diffusion. And in active diffusion, here the movement required energy, because the movement carried out against their concentration gradient means from a concentration of lower to higher. That's why energy required to push the materials from the lower concentration to higher concentration. And this facilitated diffusion perform as both active and passive diffusion, means it diffuse or moves the materials with or against the concentration gradient, and it is required energy. Here passive diffusion doesn't require energy, and active and facilitated diffusion required energy. And in random diffusion, option D, random diffusion. Random diffusion means it transport the materials randomly, means uniformly, and it also required energy. Okay, next question is, a cell without a cell wall is termed as option A, tonoplast, option B, protoplast, option C, symplast, and option D, apoplast. So here the right answer is option B, protoplast. So here we know the cell without any cell wall is known as protoplast. And what is tonoplast? Tonoplast means it is a membrane which bound the chief vacuoles of a plant cell, and that is known as tonoplast. And what is apoplast? Apoplast is the space outside the plasma membrane like cell wall. And symplast is the inner side of the plasma membrane in which water or low molecular weight solutes can move easily. And next question, the function of the centrosomes is option A, formation of spindle fibers, option B, osmoregulation, option C, secretion, and option D, protein synthesis. So here the right answer is formation of spindle fiber. And the formation of spindle fiber helps in cell division process, and the main function of the centrosome is to help in cell division by forming spindle fiber. Which organelle involved in apoptosis? Here the apoptosis means involved in cell death. Option A, lysosome, option B, endoplasmic reticulum, option C, Golgi bodies, option D, mitochondria. So here the right answer is mitochondria. And as you know, lysosome are also act as a suicidal bag, and when the cell is damaged, it release hydrolytic enzyme and make the cell to die itself. So here overall which organelles is helps or play a role in apoptosis or overall cell death? So here the right answer is mitochondria, because it is the energy tank of our cell, and that's why it is known as powerhouse. And lack of energy leads to cell death. And next question, name the process in which the ingestion materials by the cell is done through the plasma membrane. Means the cell is ingest the required materials from the plasma membrane. Option A, egestion, option B, diffusion, option C, osmosis, and option D, endocytosis. So here the right answer is option D, endocytosis. Here the endocytosis means engulfment of required materials and when these materials are absorbed by the cell or utilized by the cell, these materials or excess materials is also released from the cell after perform its function, that is known as exocytosis. Engulfment of required materials, that is known as endocytosis, and release of materials from the cell, that is known as exocytosis. And here another term is diffusion. Diffusion means movement occurs from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration. And osmosis is the movement of solvent across a semi permeable membrane towards a higher concentration towards a lower concentration by the help of a semi permeable membrane, that is known as osmosis. And what is egestion, that are present in option A? Egestion means excess water or undigested food particles that are comes to the intestines, and it is excreted through the stool. Means unwanted or excessive water or excessive undigested food particles comes to the stool, comes to the intestine or rectum part, and it is excreted through the stool, that is known as egestion. Means it is a part of the excretion process.